I welcome you all at the second session of HackSlash Study Jam, that is Introduction to CSS. So, let's start with Introduction to CSS. So, what is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. CSS allows us to specify how to present the document information stored in HTML. CSS is used to make style our web pages. CSS is used to make website responsive. Responsive means that the site will behave accordingly to the different screen size. It takes the responsibility of design in our website. CSS includes all the things which can be used to design the raw HTML, from coloring the background and text to adjust the borders, give padding, etc. So here is the syntax of CSS. So P stands for the selector and decide which part of the HTML the CSS will be applied. Here color, it is a property. It is used to describe which property you want to change or add. Whether you have to change color, border, background, width, etc. All these come under property. View, the last section is defining the value. All the property will be changed according to the value we provide. So here is CSS comments. So what are CSS comments? Comments are used to explain the code and may help you when you edit the source code to later date. Comments are used to recap the code which you have written back. Comments are ignored by the browser during the runtime. So there are ways to add CSS. There are three ways to insert CSS in HTML documents. So first is inline CSS, second is internal CSS, and third is external CSS. So what is inline CSS? Inline CSS is used to apply CSS on a single line or element. So let's see this example through code. First pick a file with name dot some name dot html. Okay. Let's see inline example. Here we have written a title. Here is the head. We write some paragraph here. Let's run this. So here comes the heading and here comes the paragraph. So now we will apply inline CSS property. Here we write style, property, value, that's brown. Let's run it out. Okay, you can see the brown color on a paragraph line. on a particular line because we have included property in a particular line. This is how inline CSS works. So now see next. So next is internal CSS. Internal CSS is used to apply CSS on a single document or page. It is written inside the style tag within the head section of HTML. Let's check it out. So here's also given an example of internal CSS. Okay, first of all, we will comment this out, otherwise changes won't be seen. We have uploaded a style tag. Let's include some properties. We can include background color also. Let's write some lines to see the changes. Okay, let's run it out. Okay, you can see changes. Let's use some different color. Okay, now you can see the example of internal CSS. So next is external CSS. So external CSS is used to apply CSS on multiple pages or all pages. Here, we write all the CSS code in a CSS file. Its extension must be .css. So here I have written some example like style.css. Let's also check it out. Show coding. Okay. First of all, make a new file named style.css. Okay. We will add the style sheet like this. Let's change the name. Oh, let's now write property here. Background color pink. Okay, now let's run it out. Okay, so here you can see the background color as pink. In this way, we will using the external CSS. So here we have uses the internal CSS, which is written in line. Sorry, here we have written inline CSS, which we have written in a particular line. Here we have written the internal CSS inside a style bracket, and here we have written external CSS. Here we have imported a style sheet. So that's all for CSS. So our next topic is CSS selector. So CSS selector are used to find or select the HTML elements you want to style. CSS selector are used to target HTML elements. Selector make it easy for you to easily target single, multiple HTML elements in the markup. So there are many types of selectors. The first one is the CSS element selector. So the element selector select HTML element on the element name. So here's the example. In this example, P is the selector. It will convert all the paragraph into blue color and make the text in comment center. So this is all about element selector. We will see all types of selector later in the code. So next one is the ID selector. The ID selector uses the ID attribute of an HTML element to select a specific element. The ID of an element is unique within the page. To select an element with a specific ID, write a hashtag. So, the syntax of ID selector means how to write the ID selector. So पहले हम हैशटैग लगाते हैं देन हम नाम लिखते हैं. So this is the syntax of ID selector. Here's the example of ID selector. The next one is class selector. The class selector select the HTML element within a specific class attribute. The select elements with a specific class with a period character. जैसे कि हम आईडी में हैशटैग लगाते थे वैसे ही हम डॉट लगाते हैं लाइक मींस pivot character लगाते हैं to represent the class selector. So here's the example. The next one is universal selector. The universal selector selects all the HTML elements on the page. जितने भी एलिमेंट्स होते हैं वो सबको सेलेक्ट कर लेता है यूनिवर्सल सेलेक्टर. इसको हम रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं एस्ट्रिक से. भी हम सिर्फ एस्ट्रिक लगाते हैं, इसके पीछे कोई नेम नहीं लगाते हम लोग. सो आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो कि कैसे इसको लिखते हैं. ओके, सो नाउ लेट्स सी थ्रू कोड. So first we will see element selector. Let's make a new file. Let's use boilerplate. Write some paragraphs and heading. Now let's use internal CSS. Background pink. Let's include first of all style tag. Sorry. Okay, let's run it out and see. Okay, so it is coming in pink color as we have written a property background color that is pink. Let's include color. So let's do dull. Let's keep it black only. Okay, so let's write one paragraph and put it in a div. Mhm. So hope you know div tag. Div tag defines a division or a section in an HTML document. This is the meaning of div tag. Okay, so here I wrote a paragraph into a div. So will this paragraph also become black? So this paragraph will also become black. You thought it right because here I said that all the paragraph should become red only. So sorry, black only. So okay, this is also coming in black only. So this is the example of element selector. So if I want to make only one paragraph black, then what to do? So then we will go to our next, that is uh, so now we will see our next selector, that is ID selector. Let's see through code. ID, then ID name. You can write any name you want. Okay, here we will use ID name. Okay, let's run it out. Okay, so now you can see background color, which is pink, and a text color, which is black. Okay, let's change our black color to some else color to see the changes. Okay, view. Now, okay. Now you can see the text color, which is blue, and the background color, which is pink, only coming in the line where we have mentioned ID. Okay, welcome to study job, and here we have mentioned ID. Welcome to study job, and these are the properties we have implemented on it. Okay, so ID is unique, but class can be multiple. Remember this. So our next selector is class selector. Let's also see it through code. Class, then class name, blue element. Here also you can write any name. Let's run it again. Okay, so let's run it again to see class selector. Okay, now you can see the background color and the text color coming on a particular line which we have mentioned. You can see here, welcome to study jam. We have implemented a class selector here, and these are the property which is coming on your output on a particular line. Okay, let's remove this class from here and implement this in another line. Okay, so class is equals to class name. Okay, let's run it out and see the changes. Okay, now you can see that background color which is pink and text color which is blue, it's coming on a particular line where we have declared our class. Okay, and we have class, we have used class here, so it's coming only that particular line only. Let's write id also. Color brown. Background color, okay, black. Let's run it again. Okay, now you can see the changes. We have wrote class here, so class properties are coming here, and we have wrote id here, so id property is implementing on that particular line only. So our next selector is universal selector. Universal selector selects all the HTML elements on a page. Let's see this also through code. Okay. Okay. So let's remove this first. Hmm. Round color, make it black. Color, make it brown. Text align, make it center. Let's run it out. Okay, now you can see the changes. Bold text has become brown in color and come at center as we have used the text align, which make it come in center, and background color has become black, as you can see here. Okay, so let's come to our next topic. Okay, so here are the CSS fields. Here's a list of the most common CSS field with example. So here are the some basic syntax which I have wrote down. Okay, so let's come on first, which is color. You have already seen how to declare a color syntax here. In this two way, also you can specify the color. This is the syntax of background color. This will make your whole background red. This is a background image syntax. In place of file, you will write your file name. Here is the font. Okay, so font refers to styling text. which is a size of 18 pixel, and chroma is the name of a font we have used. So here's a border declaration, which is of solid black color with 2 px, means 2 pixel. So our next is border top, which is also a 2 pixel solid red color. Here is the border radius, which is also 2 pixel. This will remove corner and make them more round. Is the margin 10 pixel. It is a distance from the border to the outer element. Padding is 2 pixel, refers to a distance from the border to the inner element. Here is the declaration of the width, which is it is basic syntax. You can donate this in percentage or pixel or many other forms. Many different ways to specify distance. Height. Height also you can define in many ways like pixel, percentage. Okay. So is the text align, which I have also shown you back how to write it. Okay. Let me make you show again. You will write text align. So there are many type of text aligns, and text aligns will make your text center will make your text at center, end will make your text at end, left, right, justify, start. Okay, so this is text align and box shadow. Okay, we will see all this through code. Okay, let's first see color. We have already seen, but okay. Let's not move this. So we have no color. There's a list of colors. You can select any one. Select brown. Okay, this is how we use color. So background color. So we write background color. You can use any of the color for the background. Let's run it and see. Okay, now you can see all the text are coming in a brown color and background is coming in a black color. Next is background image. Okay, for photos, for background image, you have to go to the folder which you have made in your VS Code, in which you are doing your code of CSS. Go to that folder, then copy your image in that folder like this. Then you can go to VS Code. You can see here which image I have pasted there is coming in my VS Code at that folder only. After that, you can see this. You will find background image, then URL. As my image name is screenshot, then I am writing that name. Here many options will come as of your image. जो भी इमेज पड़ी होगी वो सारे ऑप्शन आपको यहाँ पे शो करेंगे. देन आपको सेलेक्ट करना है. You have selected, then run it. Okay, you can see that background image is coming. I have used a single image, but it is coming in grid form. We will also make it change. We will see by using further fields. As the image size is small, that's why it's coming in a grid form. Okay, now let's see another background image. जो पूरी आएगी हम वो देखते हैं. Wait, we can simply remove this. Change the name. I've selected another image. Okay, now let's run it. Okay, now you can see a single image as a background is coming. So your next is font. Let's see font. Font style. Let's use italic. Let's see the changes. You can see the changes. How font style has been changed. Now text is coming in another style. We can see another also. Okay, let's make it white so that it can clearly visible to you all. Now font size, you can change the size as per you want. Larger. Okay, now you can see this. Now you can see texts are coming in a larger size. Previous the size of the text was different. See. Yeah, now you can see the current size. Okay. Okay. So now our next field is border. Okay. So first we will see the height. Okay. So first I'm going to remove this background to make you see the changes. Let's make it ID here. Red element. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give height 100 pixel here. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, so now you can see the changes here. What used to happen earlier, background is coming on the full screen as we have not specified or mentioned the height of the background. Now, as we have mentioned, it is taking only as much space as its height. So, we have learned this new thing here. Okay, let's see if I change its width, what happens. Let's take width 455 pixel. Let's run it. Okay, so here you can see the changes. The width is also reduced. The previous, the black portion of background is covering full screen. But as we have now used width 455 pixel, now you can see the changes. Let's change it more, see more changes. Hmm. Okay, so now you can see the changes. Okay, now it's only took up as much space as I have mentioned here. So This is all about our height and width. Now, our next field is we are going to talk about the border. Okay, we are starting with border. First, we will write width. So, we will use 4 pixel. Let's change it also. 5 pixel, 100 pixel. Okay, let's run it out. Okay, now we will give border color. Okay, so we will select border color as yellow green. At the same time, what I can do here is I can apply a border style also. Okay, so border, here's the style. So I have taken border style as solid. Okay, let's run it and see the further changes. Okay, now you can see that as we have written a border color yellow green, so it is coming on the border. We have defined the background height and width. It is coming as per height and width mentioned, and we have mentioned a solid border style, so it is coming in a solid. Okay, let's define border radius also. Okay, so border radius 11 pixel. See this also. Okay, so you can see the border radius. So what we have written, as you can see the changes, the border is coming in a corner, is coming in a curve. So you can see to remove corners and make them a round. Okay, so you can also write these 3 lines, which is your width, color and style, in a single line. Let's see that also. I'm gonna remove this. Okay, so border, 4 pixel. Let's take solid and green yellow. Let's run this and see the changes. Okay, so you all can see here no changes is coming. देख सकते हो कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ है, हमने एक लाइन में लिखा है, पहले हम सेपरेटली लिख रहे थे सारे पैरामीटर्स को. सो आप उस वैसे भी लिख सकते हो और ऐसे भी लिख सकते हो ना, सिंगल लाइन ऑल्सो. Let's move to our next parameter. Let's see now border top. Let's go to our code. Okay, now we will take class. Class. Okay, now we will work on class. Let's take background color. Aqua. Okay, height. We can take 100 pixel. Width you can take 455 pixel. You can take border top 2 pixel, solid. Let's also mention color. Hmm, Let's take pink. Okay, pale violet red लेते हैं. Now we want to run this. Okay, I have sorry. I have not written name here. It's my mistake. Uh, mm, Element. Now we will run this. Okay, so you can look at this. Here only in the top I got a border, but here we are getting border all over the background at all the edges, corners of the background. But here border is only coming at the top as we have mentioned in our code. Okay, so let's see border right, border left also. Let's take border right, which is 2 pixel solid black. Okay, and border bottom also, which is 2 pixel solid red color. Okay, so we are going to take here red color. Now we are going to take border right, no sorry, border left, which is 2 pixel solid. Okay, let's take a color here, green yellow. Let's run it out. Okay, so now you can see the changes here. Yellow green background as we set on a left side, so it is coming on a left side border as we have selected red as a border bottom, so you can see here as a red as a bottom. As you can see, top is your pale violet red, so it is coming here. And on the right side we have mentioned a black color, so on right side black border is coming. Okay, so now we will go to our next topic. Okay, so we have done with it. So now our next field is box shadow. Let's also see this through both. Okay, let's make new file. Hmm, Box shadow. Dot HTML. Okay, okay. Hmm. We can write here title box shadow here if class container class here name. um, you can use any name. I will use here card and id is equals to card 0. Yeah. Now I will use heading tag to write card 0. Then I am going to write some lines here. You can write anything, or you can write as per your requirement. Now we will use the path again and make another class, same name, but id name is different as id is always unique. Let's make it 12. Here also we will write heading card 1 I have written. Okay, now we will use, okay, now we use style tag here, then container class, then we will use display as flex. You can use anyone which you want. Then card as a class name we have written. Now we will use padding here. 26 pixel we can use, 12 pixel also. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you what is padding. So padding is used to create space around an element's content inside or any defined borders. It is a space between its content and a border. Okay, now border 2 pixel solid blue. Okay, let's write some lines here. Okay, okay, okay. So now let's run it. Okay, now let's go back to our code. Okay, now let's make a border. which is 2 2 pixel solid black. Sorry, I have already written water. Let's write margin, which is 23 pixel and 12 pixel. Now background color, we can use blue. Now box shadow, we can use 10 pixel, 13 pixel and green color. Okay, let's run our code and see the new changes. Okay, so here you can see padding is coming. I have already told you what is padding. A space between a text and a box is known as padding. Then you can see border is coming, which we have mentioned earlier in a code, blue color and a background color. Light blue have we have selected, so it is coming in our background. And most important is shadow. Okay, we have taken a box shadow, which is green color. You can see here बॉक्स का shadow दिख रहा है. Okay, now let's back to our quote. Okay, so यहाँ पे जो shadow आ रहा है वो काफी dark आ रहा है. इसको हम जैसे shadow होती है light color की, means हम यहाँ पे light color करते हैं. shadow मतलब blurry सा होता है ना, तो हम वैसे करेंगे अब इसको. So here I'm going to change pixel. Let's take 7 here and then see what has happened. Okay, let's go back to our code and then I can choose here as 5. Then let's see. Okay, you can see the changes. Let's take 10 pixel here. And let's run. Okay, so you can see here now proper box shadow is coming. Okay, so this is all about the fields. Let's go to our next topic, which is, so now we are going to study about transition and animation. Transition and animation. So let's see animation first, then transition. So what is animation? Animation is a special effect that applies to a single element on a slide, such as text, shape, and image, and so on. What is transition? Transition is a special effect that occur when you exit one slide and move to the other slide during a presentation. आप लोग कभी presentation बनाते हो for example, तो आप जब slides के pages change हो रहे होते हो करते हो तो आप उसमें कुछ transitions डालते हो. Okay, तो वही ट्रांजिशन हम यहाँ पे सीखेंगे कि हम वेबसाइट या वेब पेज में कैसे डालते हैं. ओके. So, transition are effects that are added to change the element gradually from one style to another. You can change as many as CSS property you want, as many time as you want. CSS animation make it possible to animate transition from one CSS style configuration to another. Okay, let's see our PPT. Okay, so here it is written animation. CSS animation properties used to create animation on the web page. What animation does? An animation makes an element change gradually from one style to another. You can add as many as property you want to add. You can also specify the changes in percentage, like from 0% specify the start on the animation and 100% specify its completion. So there are the two things to create CSS animation. First is the name of the animation and the second is the duration of the animation. Okay. Okay. Now let's see animation through the code. Here is the example of animation. Okay. So quickly let's make a new file. Animation. Animation.html. Okay. Okay. Let's change the title here. Animation. Okay. Now here let's make a use of this tag, make a class container div class is equals to, let's name card. So here I will write some text. This is a card. Okay. Now let's make a type tag here. Here I will use scanner display text. You can use anyone which you want to use as per your need. Card. Here I will write a background color which is brown. Now I will give width and height. So width 250 pixel, height also 250 pixel. Okay. Okay, first of all, let's run till here. Okay, so you can here see in background brown color is coming and the text which we have written this as a card is also coming. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to our code. Here there's no use of display flags, so I will give it here a background color. Okay, so let's take background color yellow green. Okay. Okay, now let's see what changes has happened. Okay. Okay, so here you can see that I have given this yellow green color, and so what happened is that got yellow green color background color and it has a box. Okay. Okay, now I will create an animation and show you one. Okay, before that what I will do is make a position relative. so that I can move it on a page. Okay, so position relate. Okay, now I will give here animation name as it is a two things mean to create CSS animation, the name of the animation. Okay, so animation name hack slash. Okay, now I will give animation duration. Okay, animation duration. Let's give 2 seconds. So animation duration is how long will it last. Along with it, I will write animation iteration count. Okay. Okay. Animation wait. Okay, here I will write animation iteration count. Okay. So what happened inside it is that you can put a number 2, 3, 4, 5, anything. So I will put here 3. Okay. So let's make this HackSlash animation. So first of all, to add animation, we have to name it. Okay, as I have told you earlier only. So now I will use keyframe here. Okay, so keyframe here I will write the name which I have declared here. HackSlash. Okay, and along with that, if I go inside, so I have to create a two thing from and to. So here I will write inside it from to. Okay. So here I will give width also 200 pixel, and here I will give width also 400 pixel. Okay. So here I want its width to move from 200 pixel to 400 pixel. Okay. So here I have written width and save it. Okay. So now let's run it and see. Okay. So from 200 pixel to 400 pixel, it width is going. I reloaded it to see 1, 2, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay. Now let's make changes and see what has happened then. Okay. So we have seen what is animation iteration count. Now here I will show you animation field count to explain animation field full property and what I do. Okay. See. Oh, so here animation field. Oh, okay. So make you explain about the animation fill mode. I will make its width 1400 pixel. I have to increase the width. Now if I do here forward, okay, so here I will write forward. Let's see what changes has happened. As I reload it, it will be stuck after animation here. It means if that I want the animation end result, that means property inside this to is applied in there. Then I will do the animation full move forward, or else I make it alternate to see here. Okay, let's make it alternative. Alter. Okay, let's run our code. So here you can see my animation will work and end. Okay. So there is also one thing which is animation timing function. Okay. Let's see that also. Animation timing function. So inside it, I can write ease in or ease out or ease in out. Okay. So ease in means slow at starting and see it come back, then it come fast. Okay. So let's make here as ease in and okay. Ease in means slow at starting, see it come slow, then it fast. Okay. Ease out means opposite of this. If I make it ease out, so fasting will be the fast. So sorry, so starting will be the fast, then it will become slow. Okay. What will happen in ease in out? If I make this ease in out, so at starting it will be slow, the fast, then again slow. Okay. So this is all about animation. Now further we will see what is transition. Okay. So here is the transition. Okay, so our next topic is CSS transition. So what is CSS transition? CSS transition allow you to change property value smoothly over a given duration. It provides a way to control animation speed when changing CSS property. So let's see what we have written here. CSS transformations allow you to change property value smoothly. Okay. Two things to create CSS transition: the CSS property on which you want to add an effect, and the second one is time duration of the effect. Okay, so here's the example. Let's see through code. So let's open our VS Code, make a new file that is shell.html. Okay, so here comes your okay, transition. So once I wrote style, wait, okay. So when I wrote this, I will add style tag, and after adding style tag, we will create a basic body. Okay. 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 So inside body, I will use heading tag. This is CSS solution tutorial. Okay. Now I will do one thing here. I will make div content. I will create a div container. I am giving ID now. Div ID. ID only. I don't know that. Sorry. I'm giving ID to a box I will give ID equals to box because it is a box. Okay, so we will write here box. And here I will write this. Wait, this is closing here. Now here I will write this is my box. And what I will do to this box, yes, so I will make this box a flex box. I will make display flex. Or now, let's see this also. We have used hashtag box, hashtag because we have written ID here, not a class. Okay. So display, here we will choose flex. And here I will give it a background color to height and width. Okay, so let's see that also. Justify content. We will make uh, content come in center. Align content at center. We make height 200 pixel and width also 200 pixel. Okay. Now, along with height and width, I will give it a background color also. Okay. So let's make background color. I will give a background color red. So now let's run it. Okay. So see here, this is a box and it is a center vertically, but it is not in center. Okay. Anyways, it should be in center now. Yes, the text inside my box is center very nice. Anyways, it should be in center now. Yes, the text inside my box is center very nicely. Now see here, what I will do, I will use transition for. First of all, I will write transition property. Okay, this means this means which property I want to transition. Assume I have to transition background color only. Let's write here transition property background color. So wrote background color here. Now what I will say is whichever it hovers over this box. Let's write here box background color. Let's write white here. So background color white. Along with this, what I will do, I can make change another thing too, but for now I will make only background color white. So let's run this. Check what is happening. So here, as I hit over it, its background color become white. So it is not showing. So I will change the color. I will write here black. Okay. So now you can see the difference. Okay. Okay. Now I will make a body. Okay. Let's give background color black and let's make it white. As I edge over it, become white. Let's see. Okay. So here you can see transition. Now this transition is happening here. Now what does transition means? Is all this colors passing through it has color changed to white. Okay, this is transition. Now this things works. What I will do here is put a transition duration. If I make transition duration 1 second, let's see. So it will took 1 second of time. So this is transition. It will take 1 second of time to change its color. Now let's make it 2 second. Now it is taking 2 second of transition time. Okay. So when I remove it, it took 2 more seconds of time to get its back color, previous color. Okay. So now you have so an animation that we have a timing function. Along with that, we have timing function in transition also. Okay, so let's see that also here. Transition timing function. So here I'm going to use ease in. There are three: ease in, ease out, ease in, out. Okay. So what is happening is in it is at starting it will be slow and after that it become fast. Okay, like that ease out it will be opposite of this fast at the beginning and then constantly slow. Okay, ease out, ease out. Ease out means when ending goes slow. So this fast then slow. So okay, because now I will make it 12 second. So if I make 12 second, so see here at starting it is slow and at the end constantly it become white. Okay, so this is how ease in, ease out, ease in, out works. Okay, So that's all with transition. So here are the some questions for you. Do practice these questions to get clear with CSS. Okay. I hope you all have understood what is CSS, how it's work, what are its ways. Okay. So thank you all